Hi, in this video we will create CRUD application with JSON server. The JSON server is useful to test our application without a real API. We don't need a real API. We can test our application to fetch and post and delete and update the data with the server. So let's get started. So first of all, we will create our app. After creating React app, so we will install Bootstrap. I am using Bootstrap for designing, and also React Router DOM. So after that, installing those packages, so we will create a JSON server. To create the JSON server, first of all, we need to create a file, .json file. Okay, I have created this file in React app db.json. okay, see that, and I have recorded a few records in it. See it, it is a JSON server file. So for now we will install JSON server. So to install the JSON server, we will just write npm install JSON server. After installing this, now we will run our server. To run our server, what we will write? We will write JSON. I have already installed JSON server. Okay, JSON server watch db.json. okay, the file name is db.json, and run it on port 3030. It will run on port 3030. So when we run this, so let's see it now. Come to the Chrome, see it, we have these users records in our db.json file. So after creating the JSON server, so the first thing is that to fetch the data from this server. Okay, these records that we will fetch the data and we will display that in a table. So to do this task, let's get started. So first of all, I will create a table. I will assign a class name, table, and class name here container, margin top 5, and here I will fetch data columns and the data dynamically. Okay, so let's write table body, and here I will just fetch the columns dynamically. To fetch the data, I will just first come to use effect. I will use effect, and I will fetch the data from our JSON server. I will write I will use Axios for getting the data. Okay, I have already installed Axios.get. Now we will write our URL here. So which URL we should write? So we will write this URL, okay, to get the user's data, and we will write it here, and now we will get a response. So what we will do with the response? So now I will store the columns and also the data in our variable. I will create states, const first columns, set columns is equal to use state. It is array type with us, and also now record with us. Records set records is equal to use state. So after creating these two variables, what we will do now, we will just write set columns, and we will assign the result dot data and the first we will write object dot keys. It will just, what it will do, it will fetch the keys from the header from the our data. Okay, just the headers, the keys, and the keys. Now we will pass here result dot data, and from the 0 row, from the first row, fetch the keys. And now we will set records. We will assign result dot data to that. So now we will fetch first of all the header here. We will just write columns dot map, and here I will use column and the index. So here I will first of all, I should write a table row after this. And here I will write table t head. Okay, th assign a key index, and I will print the column name. After printing that, now we will print the data. So it is t head with us, sorry. Now let's come to the t body, and here I will print the records. So to print that, I will use data.map data and index. Here we will use table row. I will assign a key name to the table row, that would be I, and now we will use td, and we will print our data here. d.id first of all, and also name and id, name and email. Yes, so now let's check how it looks like our table. So I will run the server. Let's delete it and create a new one. npm starts. So the data is not defined, so we should use records. Okay, here it is records. Where after this fill line, yes, it records. Oh, sorry, it is. So let's check our server. Yeah, the JSON server is not running, so let's run it again. So it's okay now. So let's refresh it. See it, we have the data and we fetched the data from our JSON server, from this server. Okay, so now we will create another column here for action. We will create update and delete button in here to perform the action, and also we will use the React router. Okay, React router DOM, we will use that for creating single page application. And before that, I will create first the column, and after this I will create a th by the name of action, and here I will create another td after everyone. Now I will just write update/delete. Okay, I will just simply write like this. See it, we have this action, and we will later design that. So now we will create a button, and at the top we will create a button. By clicking that button, we will create another records. We should create a record. So let's first of all create the button. Before creating the button, I will come to the React router DOM. So let's use React router DOM. So for React router DOM, first I will create one app router.js. Here I will React functional component export and also import browser router, routes, and route from React router DOM. After importing these, so let's just write browser router, yes, inside it I will first import our app here. Okay, after importing app, I will write now routes, and in the route I will write just route, and route path would be slash, and element would be this app. Okay, this app would be the element. and also the second one will be for create slash create. The element would be element. I will add the element later. Now leave it empty. So now let's back to the app.js. I will create a button at the top of the table. Yeah, here I will create a button. I'll add a class name, text and add a button. Add a class name here too. It should be a link. Sorry, it should be a link from React router now. We should import the link from React router DOM, and it should go to /create, and also here we will write create plus or add, and let's assign a class name button sub or primary. So let's see it how it looks like. It doesn't work. Let's comment this. Oh, sorry, we didn't import the app router in index. Okay, let's come to the index. Index.js. I will import app router instead of app. So let's check it now. See it, it looks like this. So now let's add an element here, create another one, add.js, React functional component export add. So now I will come to app router, and here the element would be is equal to with the add. Yeah, so I should create these are stack, and also this one, and let's remove this app. So let's refresh it. Now let's see, we have this data. Okay, but if we now come to the create, here we have this create. So let's click on the create. Here we go to the add component. So now I will add a forum here. For that, let's come to the add. Here I will create a forum, class name deflex width 100, height 100. I will just create a forum and design it using bootstrap classes, so then I will show that. So I have designed this forum, okay, using bootstrap classes. This is the add component. So now whenever we are changing data in these input fields, so we should get that data. For that I will create an object, const input data set input data is equal to, I will use state hook, and it should be an object. We have name, main name empty, the initial value, and email empty. And now we will add data to this whenever you are writing here. So for that I will just use onChange event. onChange, I will create an arrow function. I should set input data, and now I will create an object, the previous input data, and now I will change the name property e.target.value. The same I will write for the second email. Yeah, we should store the value in email property. So after updating the value, whenever we click this submit button, so we should post the data to our server file. So let's we didn't create the forum, so let's create forum here. Yes, and now I will unsubmit, call unsubmit, handle submit. I will create this function here, handle submit. We will get an event dot prevent default submission, prevent default. And now I will just post the data using Axios library. I will use Axios library, imported Axios.post, and use the URL that we have pitched the data. I will use the same URL here. Copy this and let's come to the head and paste it here. Remove. And now we will add our data. So we should add this data. Okay, input data. Input data. So after that we will get an object dot then okay, we will get an object. We can give a message alert data added successfully, and also we can we will use navigate hook now. So let's create a navigate hook. Const get is equal to use navigate hook. Okay, after that I will use that navigate, and I will move to the home page back. Okay, navigate, it will move us to the home page. So now let's check it. If there was any error, we will catch that. Console.log error. Yes, so let's check it what happened. Let's come here and come to the home page, and let's click this add button. Let's add a new record, top 13, press submit button. Data added successfully, so let's press OK. Let's see it. See, the top 13 is 51. This record has added. So it was all about adding a record. So now we will create here two buttons, update and delete, and then we will use them for deletion and updation. So let's come to the app.js, and here we will create two buttons. Instead of button I will create links. Okay, I will use link. The first one would be to update, and it should be update, and the second one would be for delete. Let's add a class here, button success, and add a class name to the delete one also. Danger. So let's check it. See it, we have added these buttons. So now whenever we press that, so we should change to the button small. So to make the button smaller, we should write the class button sm also for this one. They will look like smaller now. A little bit give, and also margin star. 1. It's okay now. So now whenever we click the update, so we should go to the update, to this link. So let's add this update to our app router. We will write here shift alt, this should be a update, and also within ID we should pass the ID to this. And after creating this, so now we will create the element by the name of edit, and let's create that element, edit.js, and React functional component. So let's import React from React, and also let's create function edit. So let's import it here. We have imported that. So in edit we should write let's edit. So let's check it whenever we click the edit button, so it should goes to the place. It should move to the, we didn't pass the ID, so let's come to the app.js and to this link, and we will pass the ID to it. Okay, so to pass the ID we will write something like this. So we will pass the ID. To pass the ID, first I will wrap it in curly braces, then I will write this quotation, and here I will write /d.id. So now let's click on it. So let's click on this third one. See, we have the ID of third. So after getting the data, so now we will go to the edit component. Let's come to the edit. Here I will create a forum, same to create as we have created a forum. So now we will create a forum for editing that. Okay, so let's come here and just copy this forum and paste it here. What we have missed, I think we have, we don't have input. Okay, I have copied the forum. So now we will, to update the data, first we will fetch that data. Okay, so to fetch that data we have passed a URL, we have passed an ID with clicking that ID. So to get that ID we will use forum hook, import use forum hook from React router down. So after that we will get ID from this hook. Const ID is equal to use forum hook. So we get the ID. So now we will pitch the data that we had. Okay, we will pitch that. So here I will use Axios.GitHub. I will use the URL that I have passed. I will just use this URL plus ID that we have. Okay, So when we get the data, so I will just get the results, then I will store the result in a variable in a state const data set data is equal to use state array type, and let's store the data in that object set data, and that would be result data catch if there was any error. So let's try, just we should write a slash here, and now just we will remove this data. After removing that, what we should do, we will just assign a value property. Value is equal to with the data that we have set right now, okay, this data object dot name, and also we should set it for email data dot email. So now let's check it. We have an error. We should remove this handle submit. Let's see, we have the data for the first user. Let's click on this user. We have this data for this user. So now also we should display the ID, okay. For ID we will disable that property. I will just disable this property. Disabled, okay, and data.id, and change this name to ID, and now change this to update. So whenever we press this update button, so we should update the data. So let's call on submit event handle submit, and let's create this function. We will get an event, and here event dot prevent default submission, and now we will update our data whenever we are so to update data. Before that, whenever we are changing these values, so we should update that data. So to do that, I will just use and change event, and here I will use a row function, and I will call here the set data, okay, set data function. This, okay, to update the data. Set data, I will use this to update the data. Set data. So now I will write something like this, the previous data, and update name here. Name is equal to a dot target dot value. The same thing for the this is set data. Let's just write it for the email. We can't update the data, the ID, I will just cut it and bring it to the name. And also let's set data email. So now we updated our data. So now we will use Axios dot put method, and we will paste our API here, and then we will pass the data, then we will get the response. Then here I will give an alert, data updated successfully. successfully, and I will just use the navigate to go to back to the home page. Okay, I will use navigate here, const navigate is equal to use navigate from React DOM. Okay, it is a hook of React DOM, and also navigate to back to the home page. So now let's try it. Set data is not defined, so let's check it. It is set data and also set data. Let's come here. So now let's first of all update this one. I will just try new data, new. Okay, let's press update. Data updated successfully. Okay, see it, the data has updated successfully. Also we can update this at, see, this has added with this. So it was the updation functionality. So now let's perform the deletion functionality. So whenever we click on the delete button here, let's come, okay, and this link, so we should perform the task. So for the deletion, first of all I will change this to the button, and after that I will remove this too, and I will call a function on click and submit, and also I will pass the ID. I will pass the ID here, that will be d.id, and now I will create that function here and I'll submit. Okay, function and I'll submit ID. Now we will print up confirmation message, window.confirm. Do you want to delete? I will assign a boolean value to this, and here I will just write if confirm. If it was okay, if you click the OK button, so then we will perform the deletion. So we will write Axios delete, and here we will put the URL. Use this URL. Let's write this URL and plus ID. We will get a result, and I will just write here alert record has deleted, and I will refresh back the page if there was any error, so print that to me. Error and console.log error. So just let's use the navigate to back refresh the page. Let's come here and const navigate is equal to use navigate, and after importing this, so let's come here, navigate, and back come to the home. So let's try it. So let's first of all delete this, the first record. Press the delete button. Do you want to delete? Okay. So the navigate didn't work, so let's refresh the page. Yeah, not deleted. Let's see what's the problem. Yeah, we didn't write the slash here, so we should write the slash here. Yes, so now let's press this button. Do you want to delete? Okay, record has deleted. See now. So let's refresh the record. The navigate didn't work. See, the record has deleted. Let's click on the third one, delete. Okay, record has deleted. See, the third one has gone. So it was the deletion functionality, and we completed our CRUD operation with JSON server. So if you have liked this video, so I kindly request you to please subscribe our YouTube channel if you are new, and also like this video. Thanks for watching.